Hey everybody. Okay, we had technical difficulties. I don't have a clue what just happened because I've been on the internet for like the last hour just doing odds and ends, and the internet was working just fine. And for some reason, when I tried to get on the live stream, it just was like, sorry, you're offline. And I tried my personal hotspot, tried everything, and finally I just started using Lexi's laptop, and for whatever reason, it's working. So don't really know what's up with that because I've got a brand new laptop, so that's not very nice. Anyway, so we are live. Are you live? How are you live? Can you try to figure that out?
Try.
So as you guys know, Lexi is my moderator, and she normally does it from, I feel like I'm super close to you guys. She normally does it from her laptop, but now I've got her laptop. So we're going to see if she can like do it maybe from her phone or something else. Can you? All right. So I had everything all hooked up, and now I feel discombobulated because of technical difficulties. I'll tell you guys what, technical difficulties brings out like the rage in Tina. Like I just seriously want to throw my laptop out the window, and don't even get me started with like printer issues. Oh my gosh. So anyway, how's everybody doing? Bomba Bees. Hi, Jason. I remembered your name this time. You're here. He says, hi, Alexis. Hey. I actually took notes from the last live video just because I wanted to remember all of my friends and everything about you guys. So I remember Jason, that's your name. So I won't call you Bomba Bees and home and outdoors tonight. So I'm doing really good though, you guys. So we just finished up 3rd grade with Parker in our homeschool, and so this whole week has been kind of just free time, and I don't really know what to do with it. It feels really weird. I feel like I'm missing something, or I constantly feel like I'm forgetting something that I'm supposed to be doing. Jennifer S., hello. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Sorry for the late entry. I had some technical difficulties, but I think we've got it all figured out now. So
tell me why it's working on your laptop.
And now it's working?
Yeah.
And now my laptop's working for Lexi, but it wouldn't work for me. So, you know, that's just the way it goes, right? I don't know. I started getting mad. My armpits start sweating. I can't do technical stuff. So anyways, so tonight is a really exciting live because, as you guys know, I'm going to be announcing the winner of the giveaway. And I have been really excited about this because, I don't know, I just kind of put a lot into it, and I wanted to pick something really special for my friends, my subscribers. And like I said on my post on the community wall, just a way to say thank you to all of you guys that are here with me on our channel and part of our homesteading YouTube family. So I think the camera might be a little blurry, so I'm just going to clean it off. So give me one sec.
It's not. It looks good on
my
side.
Oh, okay. So it looks good on yours. Okay. Maybe it's just my contacts. I don't know. I wear contacts, so sometimes things get a little blurry for me, but yeah, so we'll wait for a few more people to hop on before we announce the winner of the giveaway. So the giveaway gift was the Excalibur food dehydrator, and I did link that video in my community post today if you want to go check that out. So it is like the Mac Daddy of dehydrators, and it's got, I think, 9 or 10 trays in it, and it has all kinds of settings. You can do yogurt, you can dry your herbs, you can do jerky, all kinds of fun stuff. And it's not really this major big appliance. It's pretty small in my opinion. So I actually just keep it stored here in the homeschool room until I need it. But I was trying to think, what could I do that anybody would like? Because as I said before, I've got homesteaders on here, some people that are just homeschoolers, not necessarily homesteading. And I wanted to think of something that would be a great addition to anybody's kitchen. So I dehydrate a lot, and I thought that it would be a great gift for somebody. So we will draw the winner here in just a few minutes. All good. Also very smart move on the fly. Yes, Jason. I was like, let me Google live streams and figure some stuff out. Because if you guys were here with me last time, we had some major inappropriate first of all, we had major inappropriate sexual comments and things that were just had no place here. And then we had somebody that actually pretended to be a friend and was like, oh, let me help you moderate your comments. And then they started like muting my friends, deleting people's comments, and did this really evil, like, Cruella de Vil laugh and was like, they can never come back. And I was like, oh my gosh, because this was the first time I had ever done a live stream. And I was like, wow, people are crazy. So I was so that only subscribers can comment. And they have to be subscribers for a certain amount of time. You set that time limit, which, Jason, that's what you're talking about. At first I did 20 minutes and then I was like, no, because what if they just subscribed like 30 minutes ago just so that they can get on here and leave crazy comments? So anyway, I changed it to 5 hours and we'll see if that helps a little bit. That way, the only people commenting on our live chat that we've got going on tonight are my friends and my homies that have at least been with me for 5 hours. So we'll see. And then as a backup, I've got Lexi here, my moderator gangsta, to handle all these people. So yes. Let me see here. Jennifer, where are you from? I think you commented on a couple things before. And I want to say it was homeschooling. Might be somebody else that I'm thinking of though. But anyway, I just got done putting together a sourdough flatbread video for you guys, and that's going to go live on Sunday. It's a way to use your sourdough discard, and I use the discard for all kinds of different recipes. I don't like throwing it away because, you guys, flour and that kind of stuff is not cheap, right? So if you've got a sourdough starter, when you feed it, you have some discard, and I know people that throw it away, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like you can make so many awesome things out of it. One of the main things that I use it for is a delicious flatbread, and I just sprinkle like an everything bagel seasoning and some fresh chives, and I fry that in a cast iron skillet, and it's really good. So that's going to go live on Sunday. Jennifer is from Florida. Awesome. So just south of me. I'm up here in Virginia, so not too far away at all. So what's up, you guys? How's life? Jason, how's everything there with you on your property with your bees and rabbits and all that good stuff? I feel like I have 1 million chickens on the property. And I always ask myself, why do I keep having chickens? But we just incubated a bunch and we have a couple broody hens. So they've got some chicks that are following them now. So I don't even know. I think we have like 30 chickens on the property. I think one of them is a rooster. Not 100% sure because, you know, you got to wait a little bit to see. But I'm pretty sure one of them is a rooster. So we'll see. Victor. My knees are killing me. Oh man. Why are your knees killing you, Victor? I feel like I'm really like leery of comments after the last time. But
maybe he was doing some gardening.
That's what I was thinking. Gardening, yes. I actually took my yoga mat out to the garden, you guys. Ghetto as that may be, I don't care. You know, the padded foamy yoga mats. I took that out to the garden and I folded, and that's what I put my knees on because I cannot. I'm 39. I just had my birthday, a couple weeks ago, Lexi, and I feel sometimes when I get up out of the garden, I feel like I'm 85. Like my bones hurt, my lower back hurts. I'm like, goodness gracious. But I'll tell you guys, this year's garden, I'm so excited about it because we did the no dig method. So we put cardboard down the entire garden, the raised beds, the hoop house, and in the greenhouse. And then we covered that with mulch and planted the plants and seedlings in there. So the weeds are like basically non-existent. You might have little onesies and twosies that pop up, but the days of hours of weeding for me are gone. So I'm cool with that. Jennifer had a homestead in South Carolina, moved back to Florida for a granddaughter and looking for property here to do it here. Awesome. That's cool that you moved back to be with your granddaughter. Life is short, right? So it's hard when you're physically far away. You know, it's nice with Facebook and things like that. It kind of makes us feel like we're a little bit closer to family, even when we're not. But it is still There's nothing like that physical connection and being able to see them, right? Victor says, I feel like 100 years old. Garden work is hard on my knees. We have a homestead in Georgia. Nice. Oh, Georgia's so pretty. I'm scared of the hurricanes though. Victor, what's your experience with the hurricanes down there? Because as I've said before, Joe is retiring in a year and a half. So we're not going to be, most likely, we're not going to be staying in Virginia. We want to move somewhere else. And we're trying to look at some different states. And Georgia is beautiful, but I'm afraid of the hurricanes. Don't you guys have like major hurricanes down there? I don't know. And I know there's natural disasters anywhere you go, right? But I'm more of like, I can deal with the earthquakes and the major storms and monsoons, but there's something about hurricanes and tornadoes that just scares me to death. I don't know. We lived in Iowa, part of my childhood, and we had major tornadoes there. And I vividly remember being terrified. There's something about a funnel cloud being able to just like swoop you up and take you away, like in the Wizard of Oz. I don't know. I'm like, at least with an earthquake, I'm going to still be wherever I'm going to be, unless the ground opens up and swallows me, right? Wild root seller, currently in California with backyard garden and chickens, but looking for property in Colorado. Ooh, yes. Colorado is beautiful. Hey, Brian, welcome. Hello. Wild root seller, I was born and raised in California. Yep. So I was born in Granada Hills, California, and I grew up in the high desert, like Barstow, Victorville area. So very familiar with California. And then when I joined the Coast Guard, my first station was up north in Rio Vista, California, up by Sacramento. So we patrolled the waterways there, San Joaquin River and everything. So, oh man, Colorado. Yeah, Colorado would be really pretty. We've actually looked at Colorado too. I'm like a big terrain person. And so when we retire, I have this vision of what my homestead's going to look like. And I want to sit on my porch and sip my coffee and be able to enjoy the scenery. So that's another thing that I'm looking at is, just what it's going to look like off my front porch, wherever we go. I like the pine trees. I like the mountains. Not too much of the desert scene. I grew up in the desert, like I just said, I grew up in the high desert of California. And then when I was 15, I went to move in with my dad, and he lived in Arizona. So did plenty of the desert life with the scorpions and tarantulas and all that good stuff. So, all right. So what I did, you guys, for the drawing, I took all the names of everybody. I had some criteria that you had to meet in order to enter for the giveaway. And I took everybody's names and I wrote them on a piece of paper and I put them in this mason jar. So I figured, homesteady mason jar, right? So I'm going to just randomly draw the winner of the Excalibur food dehydrator from this mason jar. And that's how we'll do it tonight. Hey, Julia. Hello, everyone. I'm from Northern California, another Cali girl. It is beautiful here, and you get all 4 seasons. Yes. I must say, I think I preferred Northern California over where I grew up in Southern California. Again, it was the high desert down there, and up north, you get a lot more of the mountains and the pine trees and stuff like that. Mountain views, yeah. Hey, Terry. Hi. Welcome to the live stream. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. It's Friday, you guys. What are you guys up to for the weekend? Anybody have anything exciting going on? What are you sipping? What's your favorite drinks? Let me know. I, as you guys know from the live stream, I'm a red wine girl. So I have a subscription through Dry Farm Wines that I've totally fallen in love with. That's like my splurge. That's my thing. So they are, they source organic wines that are naturally yeasted from the skins of the grapes. So it doesn't have like the commercial yeast and all the added chemicals and stuff to it. So the sugar is almost non-existent in this wine. So I feel kind of guilt-free drinking it.
I said sweet tea.
Sweet tea. Yes, Sarah. Lexi's like, that's me. Lexi is all about her sweet tea. I make it, but I don't think I can ever get it sweet enough for her.
No.
Sangria. Okay, Brian. Brian's getting home some sangria. I haven't had that since I was like in my early 20s. Yeah, that's where you ferment the fruit, right? You put the fruit in there and the alcohol and everything, and you let it set. if that's what I'm thinking of, I remember in my 20s, we used to do sangria and we would ferment it for so long. I don't know if fermenting is the word. I guess maybe, sure, whatever. We'll roll with it. But like we put strawberries in there, and the strawberries by the time it was done would be white. That's how much they were infused with alcohol. So anyway, those were back in my early 20s. Kowalski Mountain. Hey girl. And it's funny because you're in the drawing tonight and I had to write your name on the paper to put in the jar. And I'm like, how do you pronounce that? Am I saying that right? Kowalski? Tell me if I'm saying that right so I don't say it wrong all night.
Can you just call her
Barbara Sue? Okay, we can roll with Barbara Sue. Yes. Lexi's like, can't you just call her Barbara Sue? Yeah, like the first thing I see on this end is your YouTube channel name. So forgive me. Livermore, California, Wine Valley. So cheers, my friend. Yes. Yeah, Northern California, Napa Valley. Oh my goodness, it's all about the wine up there. We actually have a lot of wineries here in Virginia too. Joe and I like to go up to Shenandoah Mountain, and as we're coming back, we can hit the wineries on the way home. Now, I say we hit the wineries, but really I hit the wineries, and Joe is just my driver. So he's not a drinker. Victor, take care. Are you heading out, Victor? Wow, you go, girl. Wine is good for the soul. Yes, it is. All right, Victor, if you're heading out, I just want to thank you for joining me tonight. Yes, you've got it right. Kowalski. Okay, cool. All right, you guys. So should we just like draw the winner of the Dehydrator? Kern County, California for Idaho. Oh, Sarah, Kern County. Yeah. I lived some of my childhood in Bakersfield, which was in Kern County. And that's actually where we lived when I told you guys the story about my mom slaughtering rabbits in the backyard for all the neighbor kids to see. That was fun. I live in a desert. Mariah. Hey, Mariah. I live in a desert state. I wish I lived in the northern mountains. Anyway, I get a lot of coyotes, raccoons in the yard, and we want to get the kids some baby chicks, but I'm scared of the other animals. Yeah, that's a real fear. Predators are a real fear. And I would just say, as long as you have a good coop, and if you know that those predators are in your area, maybe complete free ranging isn't a good option. We had a lot of predators at the farm, the 18-acre farm that we sold. We had hawks and owls and fox, and we lost many chickens and ducks from the predators. So, but you can do a good secure chicken run off of your chicken coop, fully enclosed with chicken wire, even on the top, so that the predators can't get to the chicks. And you can absolutely have chicks for your babies. The kids love the chicks. They're a lot of fun. Terry, I am in, oh my goodness, Terry, I'm not even going to try to say that.
I was trying to say it the whole time.
Canada. I could say Canada. Yesterday it was 35 in the shade and 48 in the sun. Oh my goodness. So cold beer. Yes.
Saskatchewan? Like, how do you say that?
Let's see. I'm going to try it.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan.
I try to throw like a little accent in there, to make it sound good. Oh my goodness, cold beer. What's your favorite beer, Terry? I am a Sam Adams girl. So obviously when I was in my younger years, it was just all about the Bud Light. But once I started drinking Sam Adams and some other beers like that, I really, I don't know, Bud Light just tastes like water to me. It doesn't do it for me. I need more depth and flavor to it. Sarah, you were born in Bakersfield. Nice. Yeah, my mom always had a little backyard farm. I shared that with you guys before, and we had rabbits and chickens, and we weren't on a farm. So we lived in the city, and she had them wherever we lived, and she would butcher rabbits, and we would milk our goat, and that's what she did. And we did that in Bakersfield. So came home from school one day, and she had all the rabbits. She had slaughtered them, and they were hanging on the clothesline in the backyard, and all the neighbor kids were like peeking over the fence, like whispering. And I came home from school and I was just like, what are you doing? I was so embarrassed. And look at me now. Look at me now. Everyone should have chickens. Yes. Yep. Chickens are the gateway drug to homesteading, right? So I say start with chickens. Absolutely. They're easy to maintain. They're fun to have. And they even have little personalities. You know, I was actually just looking at my brownie girl this morning. She is our oldest hen that we have on the property. We've had her for, I want to say 4 years. And when we got her, she had to have already been at least 2 years old. She was grown, laying eggs and everything. And she's limping a little bit. She hurt her foot. And I was watching her through the window this morning when I was making my coffee, and she was laying down in the grass and not moving. And you guys, if you're chicken people, you know when the chickens are inactive like that, that usually means something's up. You know, they do lay down sometimes, but I'm talking about that laying down where they're kind of dropping their head and having to pick it back up. So I'm hoping that she is not getting ready to pass, because she's my favorite girl, even though she's ugly as can be. Oh my goodness. We joke and we call her Felicia because she has like half of her feathers are gone. I mean, she's definitely like the grandma hen out there. Everyone, okay. All right. Let's do it, you guys. Let's do it. I'm excited. So I'm going to draw the name, and then what we'll do after tonight's live stream, whoever wins, I'm going to reach out to you on your social media platform, and I'm sorry, your social media account, and we'll figure out your address and everything so that I can ship you your awesome brand new Excalibur food dehydrator. And you guys, you got to tag me on Instagram or Facebook when you get it in the mail, okay? Tag me, let me know you got it. Tell me you love it, because I know you will. So let's do it. Lex, you want to draw it?
Yeah, but I don't want to be in it.
You don't want to be in the video? Why?
I look crazy.
Who cares? She said she looks crazy. Who cares?
I
don't know what y'all look like, but I did put on my eyebrows for you guys, though, because I know you like my eyebrows so much.
No.
All right, here we go. So you guys know we're not cheating. I'm going to let Lexi pick.
You can't look.
Oh, why can't I look?
That's the rule. You're looking through the camera.
I'm looking through the camera.
You can't look. That's what.
Okay, we get it.
Okay. Timothy G. Allen.
Timothy G. Allen. Boop, boop. Timothy's not on here tonight, so I'm going to have to message him on his Instagram. All right, you guys, Timothy G. Allen, you are the winner of the brand new Excalibur food dehydrator. Woo woo. So I'm going to reach out to you, and we will figure out shipping, and I will get that to you. Yay. I wonder, Timothy, if you see this, is this for you or is this for your wife? Because I'm pretty sure you're married, because I was stalking your Instagram page when you entered for the drawing. That's what I do. Yes, Jason, congrats, Timothy. Jason, you're such a sweetheart. You're always so kind. Salah, am I saying that right? Salah. Hello, my friend. You look really cool. Keep it up, and may God protect you. Thank you. Same to you. I got caught in the rain on my run, so I look crazy.
I look like I got caught in the rain.
Oh my goodness. Barbara Sue. I know. I try. So on some of my YouTube videos, it's like Joe and I come up with these ideas of things, and I just like, let's do a video out of it. And I'm looking rough. Like, I'm not dressed. I ain't got no makeup on. So some of my videos, you guys will actually see me looking completely like El Natural. But most of the time, I try to put, just a little mascara on, some eyebrows, because my eyebrows are very light, as I've told you guys. So if I don't darken them a little bit, you can't see them. Hello, the Belgium Kiss. Hello, Jessica. Welcome. Barbara Sue, the rain. Oh my gosh, it's been raining here for 2 days straight. I have too much to do in the garden, okay? I got too much going on. I can't handle all the rain. And for the life of me, I don't understand it. We built the sheep a shelter, and they don't want to go in it. They would prefer to go under this little overhang on the fence. So I don't know. It's funny because, I've heard a lot of people talk about the fact that the livestock really don't need like a shelter. I mean, obviously, if it's like extreme temperatures, hurricanes or something, yes. But most of the time, like even when we have our cows, they don't even want to be in the shelter. If it starts raining or sprinkling, they'll just go under the trees. So I don't know. The sheep are just like, yo, we're good. I look out there and it's pouring rain and they're chewing their cud, laying down like, what's the problem? So I'm like, all right then. So I was going to tell you guys you probably saw from my videos with our sheep. I have we have Katahdin sheep and I milk my Delilah girl, and we got her from a flock of 300 sheep, right? And she was essentially a wild sheep because they didn't handle her. It was a huge flock of sheep. And when I got her, I had to kind of train her and tame her to go in the milk stand and all that good stuff. So we've made a lot of progress with her. And she gets in the milk stand. She even stands there and gets milk now. And then she backs out of the milk stand. But the thing is with her, you guys, she is such a spaz. Oh my goodness. She's still very afraid of humans. And part of the reason that we can get her in the milk stand is because we have 2 doors on the sheep shelter. And one of the doors, when I open it, the only place to go is up the ramp into the milk stand. So if it wasn't for that and I had to catch her every day to milk her, I wouldn't be able to. Well, I would, but it would just take me a while of running around the property and that would just be crazy. So, but the other day, I mean, she is just so afraid of humans that if you go near her, she's just about knocked me over trying to run through me, not to charge me, but to get away from me. And the other day she ran through my mama hen that just had her 3 chicks. And I don't even know how they're still alive, you guys, because she's a big sheep and they're little birds, and she ran through them and the mama just fumbled, feathers flew. And the sound that the well summer made, was just, I thought that she was dead for sure. And I just thought, oh my gosh, you know what? She's going to end up killing one of the chickens. She's pretty aggressive with them. And because we let the chickens free range on the property. And the other day, Lexi said she saw her headbutt one of the turkeys. And you guys, I told you that we just got some turkeys, just 3 of them for the holidays. And they're small, I guess maybe you could call them teenagers by now, and it was just because the turkey was in her path that she was walking. She's boom, hit that turkey and he just fumbled over the grass. So I told Joe when she ran through the hen and her babies, I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to keep her. I'm actually thinking about, I don't know, my brother said put her in the freezer, but I don't know. I have this thing, like when I have a dairy animal that I've grown a relationship with, it's hard for me, like the thought of putting it in the freezer. But she's teaching the lambs bad habits, and the lambs are really good because we handled them since the day they were born. We pet them. They let us brush them out. They're super sweet and friendly. So I'm thinking about putting Delilah away and just raising up the lambs for my milkers since they're calm and not crazy. At what point did you consider yourself a real homesteader, Sarah? Okay. That's a really good question. I've said this before, and I think that homesteading is really more of a mindset than a place or a certain kind of property, or you're not a homesteader until you have these animals or until you know how to make cheese, or I don't really believe in that. I think that it's a mindset. Like I said, when we were growing up, my mom had chickens and a goat because my brother was allergic to dairy milk and, allergic to cow's milk. And so she got a goat. But we were homesteaders. My mom never called herself that, but we gardened and she canned and preserved and made bread. And she was in her own way a homesteader. So I really think it's a mindset.
It's really if you could be like self-sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, it's that pursuit of self-sufficiency, right? And I say pursuit because I don't think that anyone can ever be 100% self-sufficient, right? I'm not growing sugarcane in my backyard. I'm not growing coffee beans. These are all things that I have to source from somewhere else. So, yeah. So I think that it's a pursuit of self-sufficiency and being as self-sufficient as you possibly can. And I would say that I probably started to consider myself a quote unquote homesteader at the 18-acre farm that we sold a year ago. When I first started doing homesteady type things like canning and baking bread and stuff, I actually lived in a subdivision in a cul-de-sac in an HOA. I had a homeowners association. I couldn't have chickens. I couldn't even have, a bonfire in my backyard without breaking the HOA rules. But I started learning those things in that house. And then when we moved to the farm, we got the cows and the chickens, and we started butchering our own animals and putting them in the freezer and really getting into gardening. So I guess if I had to pick a point of when I considered myself a homesteader, it would be in the farmhouse. And in here, we moved to a 1-acre property. We wanted to downsize until Joe retires from his job so that we're not so overwhelmed with everything. With his Monday through Friday job, it left me doing everything by myself, along with my business, along with homeschooling Parker. And it was overwhelming. And then it was overwhelming for Joe too, because he was working all day. And then he would come home and he'd have to fix the fence and he'd have to do this. And this animal was sick and he'd have to go put it down, So, so I guess that's when I would say I kind of considered myself a homesteader. But I do think it's a frame of mind. I think you can homestead no matter where you are. And I just want to encourage you that there's no criteria for being a homesteader. So you got your chickens. Maybe you want to learn how to pressure can some stuff and put some food up for your family, or learn how to bake bread. I mean, these are all things that you can do. Learn how to grow a garden. Even if you live in an apartment and all you have is a balcony, you can have a container garden, So it's a frame of mind. It's not a place. And I don't think that there's a specific criteria for it. So just want to encourage you. If you don't have like this big farm with like a herd of cattle, that doesn't mean you can't be a homesteader. Okay. Barbara Sue says, well, Tina, I have to go early tonight. Wanted to say congratulations. Awesome. Thanks, Barbara Sue. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I really do. Jen's, hi, great channel with nice animals. Yay, thank you. I love my animals. We don't have as many as we used to. Like I've said before, we had cows and we even had horses. And when we downsized, now we have our chickens. We've got our flock of chickens and we have our sheep for milk and for their meat. And then we also raise up a batch of meat birds every year to stock the freezers. So Sarah says, I've always felt like a fake homesteader. I grew up in the country with chickens, huge garden, canning homemade bread. I'm now in a city. I just started canning. Yeah, isn't that funny? Because I can actually relate, Sarah. I can actually relate to that, especially because I wasn't always like this. I grew up with chickens, like I said, my mom canning and things like that. But as I married Joe and went into our adult life, we never did any of this ever. So when I started doing all this, I was actually a little afraid of what people thought of me. I was afraid of were they looking at me like, what does she think she's doing? She's not a farmer. She's not a this. And because they knew me and I had never done any of those things before. So I think that it's kind of like this self-talk that we do to ourselves sometimes too. Because I felt like that as well. It's like, well, I've only been doing this for a year back when we were on the farm, well, can I call myself a homesteader if I've only been canning for 6 months, or am I like a fake homesteader? Am I a wannabe homesteader? Right. So I want to encourage you, Sarah, you are not a fake homesteader. Homesteading is a mindset and it's what you feel in your heart. And if you've got that love and that passion for handmade from scratch, then that's what you are. I don't think that you're fake at all, but I can so relate to what you just said. How easy are the sheep to milk? Oh, okay. So easy, very easy. What's funny is there are sheep breeds that are milk breeds, and then there's sheep that are not technically considered milk breeds. Our sheep are Katahdin sheep, and they're not technically considered a milk breed, but I milk my Delilah girl, and the milk is amazing, you guys. So the biggest difference that I noticed between milking my cow and milking the sheep was the size of the teats. So obviously, right, you've got a cow, you've got a big udder, and you've got big teats, probably 3 or 4 inches long, so your whole hand can fit around it, versus my Katahdin sheep, you're looking at maybe 2 to 2.5 inch teats. So you're no longer milking with your whole hand, you're milking with like 3 fingers, right? But it's easy. And what I love about the sheep is they're perfect for a small homestead. When I had my cow, when I would milk Gracie, we would get anywhere from 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons, sometimes a little bit more if she had just had her calf. And for all our small family of 4, that was a lot of milk, you guys. I mean, seriously, we could not drink all that milk. Even if I was making yogurt and cheese and whatever else, that was a lot of milk. So for a small homestead, or a small family, the great thing about the sheep, when I milk Delilah, I might get a pint of milk out of her or 1.5 pints out of each milking. So it's kind of the perfect amount of milk for a small family without making you feel overwhelmed, like you have all this milk that you've got to deal with. So very easy, train them to get in that milk stand and give them some sweet feed or grain to nibble on while they're being milked or whatever it is that you want to give them, and milk them out. So I think it's very easy, in my opinion anyway. No rabbits. No, I don't have any rabbits. It's funny because I was just talking about this on my podcast. My brother is a homesteader and he swears about the rabbits. And my mom had rabbits when we were little, like I said, and the meat was delicious. And I remember the rabbits being very easy to take care of. You got to have a good hutch, some fresh food and water. Other than that, they're really easy to take care of. So that is something that Joe and I actually would like to get into in the future, because the meat is delicious. It's a lean meat. I would almost venture to say that it's a little bit better than chicken meat. So that's something that we might get into at our forever homestead when Joe retires. But as of right now, we do not have rabbits. Mel. Hi, Mel. How are you? Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I can make my own bread, make hand creams, scrubs, and soaps just for the family. Planning on moving out of town into the country setting. Planning on chickens and bees. Yes.
You used to make the soaps.
Yep. I've done soaps, and I actually am getting ready to do a video. We just harvested a bunch of white clover out of our property. We had a ton of white clover, and it's got some amazing medicinal properties. So me and Parker went out and harvested a bunch of it, and it is currently steeping in almond oil. It's got a few more weeks of that, and then I'm going to make some white clover hand salve, which is really great for like cracked, dry hands and things like that. So that's awesome. That you guys, there are so many home remedies that you can make. People don't realize that a lot of what we need for our bodies, God has already provided to us. So everyone is so quick to run to the store and just buy that over-the-counter drug for, that dry patch on their arm or that bug bite or, and while, yes, there's a place for those things and there's a place for, there's an issue, let's go to the emergency room, right? Obviously. There's a lot of things that you can take care of on your own homestead with home remedies and essential oils. So I'm really big on that. Shanna, how easy are the sheep to milk? Oh, I already answered that one. Why sheep milk instead of goats? Okay, Sarah, good question. Now, this is personal preference, okay? So nobody be sending me no crazy comments. So I'm not saying goats are bad, but we had a goat when I was growing up, like I said, and I just remember not caring for the flavor of the goat's milk. That's just me. I remember it being very earthy, kind of having a gamey aftertaste to it. And I just remember as a kid not liking it. Now my taste buds may have changed and I may like it today. I don't know. But the sheep milk, when I got Delilah, I was afraid of the milk not being good. And the first time we milked her and I drank that milk, you guys, oh my goodness. It is so sweet and so creamy. There's no aftertaste, like at all. And I hate to compare it to store-bought milk, but I'm going to just in the sense that when you drink the store-bought milk, you don't have any weird aftertaste. It just tastes like milk, like what we grew up on. And the sheep milk is just this amazing texture and this amazing flavor with no weird aftertaste. So that's why I went with sheep instead of goats, because I just remember not really caring for the taste of goat's milk. And I have had goats. We had goats on the farm, and you guys, they were just like, oh my gosh, they would eat everything, and they would learn how to climb over the fencing and get into stuff. And they're just mischievous little guys. So we got the sheep instead. And so far, we haven't had any issues with the sheep. So. And the other thing too, Sarah, sheep milk is actually, if you do a side-by-side with like sheep milk, cow's milk, and goat's milk, sheep milk has more nutrients, is actually better for you. So it's got a higher fat content. So when you are making cheese or yogurt or anything like that with your milk, you're going to get more of a product out of that than you would cow's milk. So I could use 3-4 gallons of cow's milk and maybe only get 2 or 3 balls of mozzarella cheese out of that, and then end up with a whole pot of liquid whey. Versus if you're making that with sheep milk, the sheep milk has a higher fat content. So you're going to get more of the cheese product and less of the whey, which is awesome. Now you can use the whey for a lot of things, you know, feed it to the pigs, use it in the garden, use it for cooking. But when you're trying to make cheese, you want the cheese products. So that's another good thing about the sheep milk, is it does have a higher fat content. Hi, Shelby. Welcome. How many chickens would you recommend for 2 people and first timers? So I would say 5. Just off the cuff, I would say 5. So when your hens are, you know, at their peak of laying, they're going to lay an egg every day. Sometimes they don't lay an egg. We've got hens right now, for whatever reason, they're not laying, you know, with the change of the seasons and things like that. So if you only get 1 or 2 hens, you're not guaranteed to get an egg every day. So depending on how many eggs you guys eat, I think that 5 is a good number to start with. And I also say that because all my homesteading homies out there, you know, chickens die sometimes for no reason at all. Like they'll just be totally healthy one day, and then the next day they get sick and die, or maybe a predator gets them. So just getting 1 or 2, you might not end up with that many in the end. And having like 4 or 5 chickens is really going to give you a great number of eggs, I think, for you and your, I think you said your spouse. Well, I'm assuming 2 people. And then if you have too many, you can always do really fun things with all those extra eggs. You can check out my channel. I've got some videos on pickling eggs, you can make egg salad. You can do all kinds of stuff with the extras. You can even sell them and share them, or give them to friends and family and neighbors. So, you know, there's no worries if you have extra eggs. So I would recommend 5 chickens. Sarah just used mullein garlic oil and a hot onion to cure my son's ear infection. Look at you, Sarah. I love it. I love it. That is awesome. You know, something that I use a lot on the homestead is lavender. Bug bites, bee stings, rashes, I mean, anything like that. If you just put straight lavender essential oil on it, it is going to relieve that burn and relieve that pain. So if you have sensitive skin, you can dilute it with a carrier oil, which is just like olive oil, almond oil, avocado oil, any kind of oil that's going to dilute that essential oil. But it's so helpful with bee stings and, you know, rashes and things like that. And coconut oil. Oh my gosh, I use coconut oil like crazy. Lexi has major allergies. So the other day, she actually woke me up at like, what was it, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
It was like 3 something.
You guys, when I tell you she has allergies, I'm not joking. She could literally sneeze
like 50 or 60 times.
We're not joking, 50 or 60 times in a row, to the point where I'm like, should I take you to the hospital? Like,
my heart starts.
I heard that when you sneeze, you have a mini heart attack. Is there any doctors out there? Please correct me if I'm wrong. But I heard that your heart kind of spazzes out. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up, whatever. But I just, you know, when you sneeze, you kind of like everything just like stops and you just kind of like contract. And so to do that 50, 60 times in a row is insanity. So she woke me up one night, face swollen, eyes swollen, running, sneezing, coughing, itching, and that's what happens to her. She has these allergy attacks, and I put her under a sorry, my foot was falling asleep, under a eucalyptus steaming towel. So what I do is I take a bowl of hot boiling water and I put some eucalyptus essential oil in there, and then I have her put her head over the bowl and I put a towel over her and the bowl, and you just slowly inhale that eucalyptus, and keep your eyes closed because it'll
burn.
It'll burn your eyes if you don't keep your eyes closed. But just close your eyes and breathe in through your nose for 10 minutes, and it really does help to clear up all that crazy allergy respiratory crap that we get. I hate goat cheese. I have no idea how sheep cheese would be. Okay, so I would tell you, okay, I have never made like cheddar or anything like that yet, but I do make something like, it's called dream cheese. It's essentially like cream cheese, but you make it into a ball and then you roll it in herbs and you submerge it in olive oil. And not only does it look beautiful on your shelf, it's so good. Like you can make a loaf of fresh French bread and spread some of that cheese on there. It is so good, Sarah. I actually have a video. It's one of my first videos I did, so don't judge me. It's so funny. I was so nervous. But so if you go look through my channel, it's called How to Make Dream Cheese. And it's essentially like a hard cream cheese rolled in herbs. So but you've got to have raw milk to make it, fresh raw milk. So it can't be, store-bought milk. So if you don't have that, I would encourage you to outsource milk from like a local farmer. Some states it's illegal to purchase raw milk, which for the life of me, I don't understand that. We can go buy cigarettes and alcohol and all these things that are bad for our health, but we can't buy milk. It's just crazy to me. But in some states, you are allowed to have a cow share program, which is what we have in Virginia. We're part of a cow share program, and we go once a week to the farmer and we pick up a gallon of fresh milk, and I make my cheese, my yogurt, and everything out of that. So let's see. We love cheese from sheep milk, so thinking of getting sheep since not enough land. Yes, yeah. Shanna, you should really look into it because like I said, we have 1 acre here, and we have our milker, that's Delilah, and she just had 2 lambs in February. And then 1 acre is with our house on it, and our detached shop, and my grandfather has a little studio cottage on the property. So, they don't have a full acre just for pasture. They have whatever's left over of that acre. And then we supplement with some alfalfa, and you can totally have sheep on a small property. They're so easy to take care of. They don't eat as much as a cow. So I would really recommend looking into that. Dairy allergies, is sheep milk the same? I don't know, Mel. I honestly don't know. I want to say I was looking at something on the internet now, and I won't speak too much on it because I can't remember the correct terms and everything, but I have done research on this. So have you tried drinking raw, fresh milk straight from the cow versus the pasteurized milk from the store? And I say that because when the pasteurization happens, it's done at such a high heat. It kills a lot of the good vitamins and everything that's in milk. It kills the bad bacteria, but it also kills the good bacteria. And I can't think of the term. It's like, I should know these terms. It's like lacto something. People say they're lactose intolerant, but those people that are lactose intolerant can drink raw milk as long as it's not the pasteurized milk. So just go and Google that because there's some information in there, like reputable information on that. But as far as like cow versus sheep, I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that a lot of people that say they can't drink the milk from the store are able to drink the raw milk straight from the cow or the dairy animal, whatever dairy animal it is. Water glass the eggs. Yeah, Sarah. So funny you mentioned that. We actually just started a bucket of eggs. So it's our first time doing it, and I'm going to do a video on it. I started the video, but it's going to be a little bit before it comes out because I want to show like the before and after and show you guys what the eggs look like after they've been preserved like that. So water glassing your eggs, you use hydrated lime and water, and that's it. And there's a ratio, and you mix that together, you fill up your bucket, and then you submerge your eggs down in the bucket, and it preserves the eggs. Some people say for up to 2 years. Like this is how they used to do it back in the olden days, like Ma Ingalls style. So I have an entire 5-gallon bucket of eggs right now. And I was actually just telling Joe we need to get another bucket out because the girls are laying a lot of eggs right now. But there is so many ways to preserve eggs, you guys. So don't worry if you have too many. Mel.
I need to try that elderberry syrup because we sold that at Walgreens.
Yeah.
And I've heard about it.
Yep. Elderberry is really good for you. Mel says, I keep elderberry syrup at home always and make it into gummies for the summer months to build stronger immunity going into the fall. So true, you guys. So true. And, it's like, with this COVID thing, I'm just like, if you have a healthy immune system and you practice common sense things like washing your hands, not touching your eyeballs after you've been out and about, things like that. Having the healthy immune system is really important. Now we don't get sick in our family. Like I can't tell you guys the last time that I was sick, like, flu sick with a fever or whatever. We just don't get sick like that. And obviously I don't know for sure if it's because of the lifestyle that we live, but I would venture to say it probably is because everything starts with your gut health. It sounds funny, but everything starts with your gut health. And we eat sauerkraut, fermented sauerkraut, like nobody's business. Oh my gosh, you guys. I have a jar fermenting on the counter right now and it cannot get done quick enough. We actually use the last of our sauerkraut and I'm fiending for it. Like I eat it all the time. I put it on my scrambled eggs. Any of those fermented type foods, they have that good healthy bacteria that's good for your gut, and it's going to give you a healthy immune system. So elderberry syrup is actually something, Mel, I've never tried, but I need to. I've read a lot about it. I know a lot of homesteaders that swear by it, so I definitely need to give that a try. Yeah, definitely check out the water glassing of eggs. You guys, I bought a 50-pound bag of hydrated lime. That'll probably last me my whole life because you only need, oh my gosh, I can't think of the measurements. Just a certain amount of ounces per quart of water. So it's just this tiny amount of this hydrated lime per quart of water. And you fill up your 5-gallon bucket with the eggs in that solution. And it's just amazing. I don't know who came up with it or how they came up with it, but it's pretty cool. Sarah, you can buy raw milk. I'm so jelly.
Oh, no, you didn't.
I did say jelly. That's not fair. I don't understand. I just don't understand it. Why we can't buy raw milk. I think it's big agriculture, right? They want to kick out the small farmers and big agriculture just wants to, or big industrial farmers want to have all the money to themselves. That's my opinion anyway. It would be wise to check the eggs with a headlamp before using it. I've learned there could be cracks you didn't know. That's a good point. Do you refrigerate your eggs, Shelby says, or just leave them out on the counter? I've been seeing mixed reviews on both. So we've actually done both. You don't have to refrigerate them. So obviously, like anything, if you leave it out on the counter for 6 months, it's going to go bad, right? But we've left our eggs on the counter for, I want to say up to a month and a half. And that's not that we had a certain time limit on it. We just, that's as we were using them. So when the chicken lays the egg, there's a protective coating on the egg. And as long as you don't wash the eggs, that protective coating keeps bacteria from entering the eggs. So they're perfectly safe to be on the counter. If you wash your eggs, you need to put them in the fridge because you've removed that protective coating. So they definitely need to be in the fridge if you've washed them. So if there's a lot of chicken poop or something on them, just use a dry paper towel or even like a dry sponge and just knock that off. And you can leave them in a cute little basket on your counter. And we use eggs so much here in the house that they're not up there for very long anyway. So there is mixed reviews on it, but coming from me that has actually left them on the counter and does leave them on the counter, I have a whole basket of eggs on the counter right now. I don't even time it. It's just a constant rotation. Do you know what I mean? So the new ones come in, we use the old ones first, and we've never had an issue with it.
Yes, make sure you guys use those old ones first.
Yeah.
We have one in the farmhouse.
Yeah. So Lexi's talking about having like a good rotation of what's new and what's old because, they will go bad eventually, but anything will, right? So yeah, we had a rotten one time and it was just like, oh my gosh. That's why from here on out, I always crack my eggs into a bowl before adding them to whatever it is I'm cooking. If you've ever cracked open a rotten egg, you know what I'm talking about. Sarah, by the way, you can get the food grade hydrated lime for water glassing it as your standard. Yes, just got 50 pounds. I love them. I love their website. In fact, I need to go on there and order some things. They're awesome. Yep. From Amazon. Yeah, I was looking into that because I was actually going to make some elderberry syrup not too long ago. And I don't know why I didn't. I just got sidetracked, but I was looking, you can buy organic dried elderberries on Amazon. So yeah, I am thinking about trying to talk Joe into a couple feeder pigs.
Oh no.
Lexi didn't know that. She's like, are you serious? We've got enough room here, not for a whole bunch, not for breeder pigs, but just to get a couple of feeder pigs and raise them up for butcher because we've got a whole freezer of beef right now, a whole freezer of chicken, and I would like to stock up on pork. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try to talk Joe into it. Poor Joe. Oh my goodness. But we used to raise American Guinea hogs at the farm, and American Guinea hogs are really great small homestead type pig. They have a great temperament. They're not big pigs. They're like the smaller black ones. We would get them to be about like 300, 350 pounds before we took them to the butcher. But the only thing that I don't want to say I didn't like about the Guinea hogs, but the only reason I'm thinking about trying a new breed is because with the Guinea hogs, the cuts of meat weren't that big. Do you know what I mean? Because it's a smaller pig. So where I'm used to having those bigger, fatter pork chops, that are larger, the Guinea hogs were much smaller. And then the same thing with like the slabs of bacon. So I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe the Berkshire brand. Have any of you had Berkshire pigs? Because I'm thinking about maybe trying out one or two of those and seeing how we like it. Shanna, we got some American Guinea hogs. They are so much fun. Yes, they are. Oh my goodness.
I used to ride them.
Yep. Lexi used to ride our Papa pig. And it's funny because he was not a nice pig. So that was a lot of fun to watch. And Parker used to ride it too. He was not a nice pig. He was not nice. Parker was swinging on the swing set one day and Papa pig came over and tried to attack him. And Parker's like hanging off of the swing screaming, and he just was not a nice pig. But they're awesome because they're smaller and they're easier to take care of. And other than Papa Pig, they are typically well mannered. So, but we'll see. I've got to figure out on the property where I'm going to put them. So yeah, I'll have to figure that out.
You don't got nowhere to put them.
Oh, I always got somewhere to put them. I'll find them. So yeah, the garden is getting big. Oh my gosh, the zucchinis are going crazy. The cucumbers are finally taking off, and my carrots all sprouted. Those all just germinated within the last week or so. And our green beans, you guys, I've never grown green beans. They're actually like climbing over the arbor that we built. They're taller than me and they're so pretty. The peas have done really well. We had snap peas and almost more of those than I could eat. So those really produce a lot. And then the hoop house is doing great. We've got, I want to say 35 to 40 cauliflowers. We've got 15 to 20 broccoli and 15 to 20 cabbages growing in there. And they're just getting big and beautiful. I just posted on my stories on Instagram the other day some pictures of them. So if you guys aren't following me on social media, you can find me at Blessed and Beautiful Homestead on Yeah, it's Ollie. On Facebook and Instagram, same name to keep it simple, Blessed and Beautiful Homestead. And has anybody checked out my podcast? I just started a podcast. I think we're on like episodes 5 or 6. But super fun. Just sharing homesteading things is what I intend on sharing over there, but also some deeper topics culturally, and also as a wife and a mom. So it's really cool because, as I've said before, YouTube is a great platform, but there are things here, obviously, that I can't share because they like to, silence us conservative folk. So anyway, that's been fun at the podcast. So if you haven't checked it out, you can find me on anywhere that you listen to your podcast, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. And again, it's just Blessed and Beautiful Homestead. Any alternative materials that could be used for the supports on the hoop house besides wood? Trying to avoid the lumber prices. I know wood is so expensive right now. I had a lot of people talk about PVC pipe for extra support. So maybe look into that, Shelby. I don't really know how. Joe's the construction guy. He's the construction guy. So I don't really know how that would work, but I've had a lot of people talk about the PVC pipe. And yeah, cattle panels, Sarah. So I think she's talking about like additional supports though, because like we have the hoop house that's obviously made with the cattle panels, but for extra support, a lot of people were saying they live in an area with a lot of snowfall. So with the weight of the snow, I don't know how well the cattle panels would hold up. So there might need to be like a center beam run down for extra support, whether it's wood or some type of PVC piping or something, just for added support there. Yeah. But the hoop house is doing good. I mean, and that sprinkler system, you guys, is like spot on. I water the garden and the greenhouse by hand. But when it comes to the hoop house, I just put that hose right in there and turn the sprinklers on and walk away and let it go for a few minutes and then come back and everything's watered. It's like so much easier. So much easier. But we've had, like I said, a lot of rain the last couple of days. So we definitely don't need to water it right now. But anyway, so yeah, so we are at about an hour. Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to talk about? Any other questions or anything? I love it. So many of you guys tonight. And what a better night for comments, huh, Lexi? Mm-hmm. We did not have to moderate any comments tonight, which was really great. So I think in the future, I will always make it to where only the subscribers can comment and put a time limit as far as like how long you have to be a subscriber before you're able to comment. Because like I said, the last live stream was kind of hijacked by crazy people. So old Sherry's Kitchen got up in here and was deleting people off of here. So I think tonight went really well. But yeah, let me see if I missed anything. I didn't. Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, if you don't have anything else that you want to chat about, I guess I'll let you guys go. It's been an hour and it's Friday night, and I'm sure you have other things that you need to get done. But I do want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight. There's a lot of other things I'm sure you could have been doing other than, live streaming with me. So good luck on your homesteads, and I hope you are all doing well. And I'm super excited about our giveaway. I'll be hitting up Timothy on Instagram for his free dehydrator. All right, you guys, thanks so much. And I will see you guys very soon. I'm probably going to do the Homestead Hangout once a month where we can get together. So if you guys think of any topics or anything you want to talk about beforehand, you can always just email me. Email me at tina@blessedandbeautifulhomestead.com. Or of course, you can message me on any of the social media platforms. And that way we can plan on chatting about those things. Fowler Family Farm. Dang, I missed it. Hey, you did miss it. We've been chatting. I feel like we've been chatting all week through comments and stuff, but that's all right. We're going to get back on here and do Homestead Hangout. I think we're going to do it like once a month. I love hanging out with you guys and just, chatting about homesteading and everything that you guys doing on the properties. It's really cool to kind of have like this connection, right? Even if it's like cyberly, it's nice because sometimes homesteading can feel a little bit lonely. I feel a lot that I'm the only one like me in my sphere of influence, I guess you could say. So it's really nice to have others that are like-minded. So yes, Fowler Family Farm next time for sure. All right, you guys, take care and stay blessed, and I will see you guys very soon.